Morning, guys. Racing today from Greyville, the poly track, and a little bit better than yesterday. That was an absolute train smash. It was a really tough day yesterday, but today looks a little bit better. Although I also think that today the exotics will yet again pay very well today. We start off in the first maiden plate, and quite a few first timers here. Jacob's Ladder, Shamusi, Believe and Achieve. There's all of them has some substance to it. Wendy Whitehead, for instance, I like Wendy Whitehead's race in the twice as smart race later in the race 6. So I think that Believe Achieve could be anything. I also think that Jacob's Ladder could be anything with the 4 kilos, and Stradom's been riding very well. And there is some flames here with Goosen and Stradom together, which does suggest that that can also happen. And then Doug Campbell showed us that he had 4 entries with 3 winners and a place on the previous time at Greyville Poly. So Shamusi must also be taken seriously. So this is really a little tough start to get through. I think that tonight's fight night has some very decent best adjusted time, speed rating, exotic ranking, greenie points, form, stat form, speed, super rule percentage, best bat 42, bat 84. Some really good figures there. So I have ended up going with tonight's fight night as my first choice with the highest greenie points as well, and a 36% chance to win on the greenie points. All the high percentages is their form, 40% win chance on form, and then bat 42, 30% chance as well. So gone with a very weak first choice of tonight's fight night. My second choice, I've gone with McCallan. Best overall ranking here, 30% chance to win. Best exact distance, median speed, also 32% chance to win. Then for third, I've gone with Wendy Whitehead's Believe Achieve. That's currently at 56 to 1. But I think it might just pop in. And then for fourth, I went with Gazala Gallop, another one with all these bum roll figures here. 35% chance on bum 168, 26 on bum 42. Best bat curve. So Gazala is another one that could really pop up here. Jacob's Ladder, like I said just now, Louis Goosen's first timer with Stradom on board. Could be anything. I wouldn't be surprised if 2 first timers runs first and second here. Then I've mouse on over. Ashley Fortune's in really good form, and so is Gumede. 2.5 kilo claim. Top T curve, 32% chance to win. So that's another one. Then the favorite, Coop for Flute, is another one. Tony Ryland and Arthur Marcus. And then one, Wendy Whitehead's also got Lord Cairo here. That's not too bad off in the bat figure. So really anything can win this. This is a really tough race to get through. So you'll see I've loaded up a lot on the bipod, and I'm not overly confident even, because something like number 3 Shamusi is not even in there. In the second, again, tricky, because I think the only runner from Justin Snaith, twice the effect, could be anything, because Justin Snaith has a greenie coming up later that I'm not my first choice, but that does have a choice, and it's got Marcus on board. Straight 6, Sakai is only right for the day. Michael Roberts has only got 2 for the day. Best T curve, you can see there's very little in points here on the T curve, so anything really can go here. Then Cabinet Shuffle, Lisanne Forbes, 3 for the day. Serena Moodley, some good bat figures here at 15 to 1 is another one that you should respect. Best adjusted time, best form with 30% chance to win. Then Hello Again, another one. Michael Miller, Flames for Jacobs, best exotic ranking, best exact distance, median speed, decent bat figures, less than 5 lengths away. So another one that you could have to respect. Then Dennis Dreyer could, after fight night with Master Dancer, best overall ranking, 23% chance to win, best super rule percentage, and decent enough bat 42 as well. So another one that wouldn't be all too surprised. Twice the effect the first time, Justin Snaith, another one that could be anything. Maitland Magic is the favourite. Blinkers fitted now, coming from a rest. Stat form, 30% chance to win. Not so good, the bat figures on the last run, but previous to that was pretty decent. If I compare that 7 bat figure to straight sixes 2.5 or cabinet shuffle 2.8, only the 1 run so far. Hello again, the 7.3. So very little here. It's a tough race to get through if there's not enough data. So there's a lot of question marks. Even something like stable changes for Kareem Bestel here with Straydom, that could just as much win it as well. Vision to Glory. Valencia, same thing, now coming from a rest, could be anything that 5.42. So tough 2 races to get through on the first 2, and that's why I opted to rather play the PA than the bipod today, because the start is got too many question marks on it. In the third, Andre Nell's got a bit of a hand here with Raymond Danielson, Cyclonic Breeze, and Glacier Russ with Gumede. If I look at Gumede here, you'll see win and place on the horse, 100% place record. And if I look at Cyclonic Breeze, win and place with the jockey, 66% here. So those 2 really appeals to me for Andre Nell stable. Bold Surrey, Michael Miller and Jacobs, 11-1, now blinkers fitted, and has the best bat figures, but has red bat figures, and it's not way off of way ahead of the rest. Cyclonic Breeze with 8.59, Manhattan Melody at 8.17, Pickwillen at 8.6, Cardboard Cowboy at 7.45. There's a lot of question marks in this race as well. So yeah, Cardboard Cowboy has got Warren Kennedy booked now, blinkers off and cheek pieces fitted, and that's 7.45 with the Warren Kennedy connection is probably pretty good. Just Dixon had a decent race the last time and now has Yenny on board, and the further distance, it was pretty decent over the 1900 the last time on this 12.15 bat figure. Another one that could do. Cherokee Chief, Golf Puller and Donovan Dillon is another one that could just about be involved in the finish here. So tough little race this as well. I've gone 4, 10, 8, 6 and 2. Sorry, that's previous race. In the third, I've gone 1, 12, 13, 3, 6 and 4. 1, 12, 13, 3, 6 and 4. But I'm not overly confident in this race, to be quite honest with you as well. There's a lot of question marks for me in this race. There's a lot of red, which is outside of the distance category, which does worry me. In the fourth, it could be the double for Kennedy, as Queen's Plain does look pretty decent. But it could also be Everdeen with Andre Nell. It could be the double with Andre Nell. Alison Wright has some really decent runners later as well. And 14-1 on green ice with the best bat figures in the field. Also red bats. You can see Adorable Analia, some also really good bat figures here. Popova, really good bat figures here. 0.9, 0.95, 1.59, but all outside today's 2,000 meters. So I don't know whether they will like the 2000 or will not like the 2000. From the raced runners that has done the 2000 before, Basetsana is the closest with the 6.65 bat over the 1750 and the 12.8 over the 2000, which looks pretty decent. And then Master's Beauty is another one that is not all that far off either over the 18 and the 1950. So another very tough race, this where nothing really standing out. You can see I've been loading up quite a bit. I've gone 13, 7, 8, 5, 1 and 2 in my bipod and in my PA. And then I've also added 4, 9, 14, 12 and 10 in the pick 6, because or in the pick 6 and the jackpot, because it's really tough. In the fifth, I like Wendy Whitehead's chances on Twice as Smart as well as Liquid Irish. I've gone with Twice as Smart as the first choice, but I do have question marks on the Twice as Smart extra 200 meters. If you can look, see what I mean. The 1400 is really decent, the 6 and the minus 1.4, but the 1600 bat form, the best year has been a 16 and an 18 and a 19. So the extra 200 meters is not really suiting, whereby Liquid Irish has the 1600 a 5.04. So Liquid Irish does look pretty decent, and you can see that Stuart Randolph has had a first, a fifth, and a second recently on Liquid Irish. So I've made those my first two choices. I ended up with Twice as Smart because Twice as Smart does have quite a bit on Liquid Irish over the 1200 form. So that's 6 lengths. Maybe he'll last, or maybe Liquid Irish will be running on. Then Doug Campbell's in really hot form. Eden Garden Blitz can't be left alone. And then Michael Roberts just had a top-rated first-timer in the second race. So Jack's Bird is another one with best median speed. And this 0.01 on the 16th of August is also a red bat, but a very good red bat. So he could just as well also be enjoying the 1600 more than what he showed so far. 19 his best there, 11. So another question mark there for you. And then the favorite, Song of the Forest. With Jacobs on board, the 51.5 kilos will definitely suit. Best EDMS, best stat form, best super rule percentage, highest percentage 50% on stat form, but I also get 50 on Twice as Smart, on ERA, and on ORA, and on form, and on T-curve, and on bat 42. So Song of the Forest has also got a shot here with that 51 kilos on board. So I've gone with 10, 3, 4, and 2, but the 1 is also included in my pick 6. And I wouldn't be surprised if Song of the Forest actually does win it, but I think 10, 3, 4, 2 is enough to get through the bipod. In the 6th race, I think Candy Galore has a pretty decent shot here. If I'm looking at Candy Galore's bat figures recently, really decent, but only 0.24 of a length away from Miss Generosity. And Miss Generosity at 11-1 therefore has a little bit of appeal to me as well. For 3rd, I've gone with Hop, Skip, and a Jump, and this could be a Crawford double by now with number 1 in the previous leg. And then for 4th, the only runner from Corne Spies, Lyle Hewitson, Impressive Duchess. I also think Her Royal Majesty with Gumeres 2.5 kilos, now 50.5 kilos, is 7-8 bat is not far off either. And then Dive Captain, those bat figures there is pretty decent as well, good adjusted time figures as well. And even things like Linear and Captain of Color has some sort of a say here as well. So I've gone 5, 8, 9, and 3 in my PA and in my bipod, and I've added 4, 6, and 1 in the pick 6. But it's a tough little race. I mean, even Casino Queen with Snake and Marcus is coming back, and could be anything back from the rest really. So even taking a bit of a chance there. I do think the best chance in for the day, the best bet for the day, is Double Rainbow, and I've taken a chance in actually bankering Double Rainbow in my PA. My next best then would be 12, 7, 9, 4, and 11, but Double Ransom for me is the closest we'll get to a best bet today, and I'll just quickly show you what I mean. I do have respect for Mo Nanu. If you look at Serena's Moodley, 75% chance to win on the 4 times Serena Moodley's ridden. Mo Nanu has won 3 of those 4 times. Here on the 1200 Greyville Poly, as well as on the 1200 Greyville there, as well as the 1200 Scottsville there, and a 12th over that Greyville one. So 2 out of 2 on the Greyville Poly means Mo Nanu is a decent runner at that kind of price. The other one that I think has got a bit of a say as well, you can clearly see the 0.39 only run so far, only bat, was good enough to be the best blue bat in the field. A 3.94 year and a 0.77 year on Rocket Fire. Now with the 2.5 kilos for Gugmede makes those 2 my next best. Then Bravo Zulu with Mr. Stradom. You can see Mr. Stradom is being used by Louis Quissen today. That 4 kilos will tell. You can see the 2.79 is good enough previously, so that's also one that you can keep an eye on. And then White Cedar has this 5.72 blue bat here with Lyle Hewitson, only runner for the day. So if the Greeny double ransom doesn't win, then it does make it very open. So I've banked it number 6, the bigger perms 12 and 7 and 9 added, and then the very big perms, all of these others has a say. In the very last, somewhere in time, made that my second choice. And if I look at Arthur Marcus, has a win place on the horse, 100% chance to win, so that does say something in itself. But in saying that, it doesn't have the greatest Greyville poly form. You can see those runs on the Scots was really decent, minus 2.38 on both occasions, which does make it the best in the field over the 1,000 meters. And he does have some decent 1250, 3.34 and 2.44 here. So he does look to be fine in that kind of a range, but in saying that, he has not done it on the Greyville poly, so that's why somewhere in time is a bit of a question mark for me. I've gone with Flashy Katrina as my first choice here, and it's weird that Gumede doesn't ride for Naidu, but I can see Dylan has done very well, has won twice here, and 5.62 and 6.81 is the two best blue bats in the field on this race. For third, I've gone with some earlier form. This is back in 2019 November, 4.42 bats, so nothing close to that recently, but his last run was with steels on, and today he does have the Alamites fitted, so he's a bit of a roughie here as my third choice, Vaz. And then another roughie is Kildonan Bay. If I look at these K12F form, there was some decent 7.4 and 8.56 bats, and he's running some bigger races. And we know Doug Campbell's in very good form with his 3 winners and a third out of his 4 runners his last time here at the Greyville Poly. And he does have Warren Kennedy booked today. He has won over the Greyville Poly 1200, so I wouldn't be surprised if he pops up in this race as well. So I have gone 11, 7, 4, 2, and the last one 5. Janssen van Vuren Retail Therapy also 8.89, 8.94. So question marks onto somewhere in time to do the actual Greyville Poly, but best Greyville Poly form, Flashy Katrina for me, and also Vaz on those 4s, but there's very little between that and the 7s and 8s and 6s from the rest of the field. Something like First Sighting, that 7 is pretty decent as well now with the Appy only 52.5 kilos, best median speed as well. Silver Dazzle is another one that with Wright and Mel now has blinkers fitted. It's coming down in distance, but it has some really decent 3, 2, 1, 1, 3 form here to suggest that if he likes the drop in distance, he could be competitive as well. Even Miss Charlotte, Goff Puller and Stradom, you can see that 6.69 bat now with the 4 kilo Epic Claim is another one that you could throw into the party here. So not an easy day today, and my best bet for the day, Double Rainbow. Yeah, I think my second best would probably be Wendy Whitehead with Twice as Smart or Liquid Irish, and then Candy Galore as my next best. But I'm just waiting to see if Brett Crawford has some of the Forest winning, then that could change things as well for this hop, skip and jump. That must have a say. Have a great day, guys, and speak again tomorrow.